The Formula One world has a new championship leader. Oscar Piastri has taken control of the 2025 Formula One World Championship, moving to the top of the drivers' standings following a commanding win at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. This victory marks a significant milestone in the young Australian's career, as he becomes the first driver from his country to lead the championship since Mark Webber in 2010. Piastri's third win in 5 races this season has catapulted him to 99 points, establishing a 10-point lead over teammate Lando Norris. 4-time world champion Max Verstappen now sits in 3rd place, 12 points behind the Australian. The championship battle is intensifying with each race, and Piastri's consistent performance has put him in a position that many competitors feared. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix presented a different challenge for Piastri compared to his previous victories. Starting from 2nd position on the grid, he needed to overcome pole sitter Max Verstappen. The race outcome was largely decided in the opening moments when Verstappen picked up a 5-second penalty for gaining an advantage after going off the track at the first turn. As the sun dipped and tension rose at the Jeddah Corniche Circuit, often described as the world's fastest street circuit, all eyes were on the front row. When the lights went out, Piastri launched perfectly from his starting position, drawing level with Verstappen as they approached the first corner. The McLaren driver held the crucial inside line for the short run to the opening chicane. While Piastri maintained his racing line into the braking zone, Verstappen continued battling on the outside. As they reached the apex, the Red Bull ducked right over the runoff area, exiting the second corner still in the lead. Piastri immediately reported the incident to his team. "He needs to give that back. I was ahead." Verstappen's perspective differed. "He just forced me off." The stewards investigated the incident and determined that Piastri, as the overtaking car, had pulled ahead of Verstappen, making it his corner according to the driver's standards guidelines. Verstappen received a 5-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Upon hearing about the penalty, Verstappen responded over team radio with an expletive, adding, "That is lovely." After the race, Piastri explained his aggressive approach to the first corner. He said, "Once I got on the inside, I wasn't coming out of turn 1 in second. I tried my best. Obviously, the stewards had to get involved. But I thought I was plenty far enough up, and in the end, that's what got me the race." This decisive moment demonstrated Piastri's growing confidence and willingness to challenge even the most formidable competitors on the grid. Behind the leaders, an early incident between Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly brought out the safety car, forcing both drivers to retire. Racing resumed on lap 3 with Verstappen leading Piastri, Russell in 3rd, and Leclerc in 4th position. Piastri strategically bided his time behind Verstappen, maintaining a gap of around 1 second. The Australian knew the lead would effectively be his once Verstappen served his penalty during the pit stops. On lap 20, Piastri was the first of the frontrunners to make a pit stop for fresh tires. Verstappen followed 2 laps later, serving his penalty before the Red Bull crew could change his tires. This sequence of events handed Piastri the effective lead, though Leclerc and Norris temporarily moved ahead as they extended their first stints. Leclerc finally pitted on lap 30, with Norris following a couple of laps later, confirming Piastri's position at the front of the field. From there, the McLaren driver controlled the race with precision, crossing the finish line 2.843 seconds ahead of Verstappen. "It was really tricky to follow out there," Piastri explained after the race. "I couldn't really stay with Max at the end of the first stint, just chewed up my tires. The clean air was nice after the pit stops. Great race. We did the parts we needed to right. Still need a bit more, I think. Max was a little bit too close for our liking." The Jeddah Corniche Circuit presents one of the most physically demanding challenges on the F1 calendar. Despite the race being held at night, conditions remained extremely hot and humid, testing the driver's physical limits. After crossing the finish line, an exhausted Piastri said, "I'm looking for a couch. It was a pretty tough race." He later elaborated on the difficulty of the race. "That was one of our biggest upgrades this week. The drinks bottle was working. That was good. Got some fluids on board, which was nice, but it's always a tough race around here. It's a little bit later in the year this year as well, which I think is a little bit warmer, a little bit more humid, and definitely one of the toughest races I've had in my career. So glad I could come out on top in it." The high-speed nature of the track, combined with the challenging weather conditions, made Piastri's controlled performance all the more impressive. His ability to maintain focus and precision throughout the race demonstrated his growing maturity and readiness to compete at the highest level. Max Verstappen, known for his outspoken nature, was notably reserved in his post-race comments. "I'm going to keep it quite short," he said. "It's been a great weekend along the track and the rest is what it is." When pressed about the first corner incident and subsequent penalty, Verstappen explained his reluctance to share his true feelings.
The problem is that I cannot share my opinion about it because I might get penalized also, so it's better not to speak about it.
He added,
"No, it is just has to do with social media in general and how the world is. I prefer not to talk, or not a lot, because sometimes your words can be twisted or people interpret it in a different way. So you can't share fully your opinion because it is not appreciated apparently, or people can't handle the full truth."
Red Bull team principal Christian Horner defended his driver, bringing a printout of screenshots showing the car's positions at the first corner to his media session.
I don't know where Max was supposed to go at that first corner. We've lost the race by 2.6 seconds, so it's tough. I think the most positive thing for us today, the pace was there. It was a very positive race. Congrats to Oscar. Disappointed not to get the win.
Horner suggested the stewards had made the wrong call. "I thought it was very harsh. We didn't concede the position because we didn't believe that we had done anything wrong. You can quite clearly see at the apex of the corner, we believe that Max is clearly ahead." I can't see how the stewards got to that conclusion. The controversy added another chapter to the ongoing debates about racing rules and their application in Formula One. Despite leading the championship for the first time in his Formula One career, Piastri maintained his trademark composure and humility. He said this with his usual calm demeanor.
I'm not that bothered by the fact that I'm leading the championship, but I'm proud of the work and the reasons behind why we're leading the championship. Melbourne wasn't a great start to the year in terms of results, but from the moment I've hit the track this season, I felt like I've been in a good place, and I think at the moment leading the championship is a result of all the hard work we've done in the off season, the hard work I've done personally, the hard work the team's done.
Most significantly, Piastri demonstrated his championship mentality with this statement.
So I'm more proud of all of those things than I am of the fact that I'm leading the championship, because ultimately I want to be leading it after round 24, not round 5.
This perspective shows remarkable maturity for a driver in only his third year in Formula One. Piastri's focused approach and long-term thinking suggest he has the mental attributes required for a sustained championship challenge.